When we picture the United States, images of bustling metropolises, towering skyscrapers, and endless highways often come to mind. We envision a vibrant, crowded superpower, constantly in motion. But there's a lesser-known side to America, one that's remarkably tranquil and surprisingly vast. Nearly half of its landmass is practically uninhabited. It's true, despite boasting a population of over 334 million people, significant portions of the U.S. consist of expansive, open spaces where you could drive for hours without encountering another soul. Some states are so immense, yet so sparsely populated, that it's hard to reconcile them with the dense urban landscapes of New York City or Los Angeles. This begs the question, why are these beautiful, peaceful, and resource-rich areas so empty? What are the underlying reasons preventing widespread settlement? Join us as we embark on a journey through the top 9 least populated states in America, uncovering the intriguing factors that keep their populations remarkably low. 1. Maine. 89% forest, 100% freezing. We begin our exploration in the far northeast, in the picturesque state of Maine. Nestled so far north, it's often quipped that Mainers are practically Canadian. Maine is a breathtaking tableau of dense pine forests, shimmering lakes, and the occasional majestic moose, looking like something lifted directly from a postcard. Yet with a population of only 1.38 million people, it remains significantly underpopulated. The primary deterrent? Winter. The cold here is legendary. Think bone-chilling, sub-zero temperatures, blizzards capable of burying entire homes, and winds that can make your face ache. Unless your idea of a good time involves snowmobiling, ice fishing, and frozen eyelashes, Maine's winters can be a formidable challenge. Fun fact, an astounding 89% of Maine is covered in forest. That's quite literally more trees than people. So if you're an avid outdoors enthusiast who can brave long, frigid winters, Maine might just be your personal paradise. Just be sure to invest in some serious winter gear. 2. Montana. Big sky, tiny population. Our next stop takes us to Montana, often called the modern Wild West. Here you'll find quintessential scenes of cowboys, vast open plains, galloping horses, and sunsets that paint the sky like an artist's masterpiece. Here's the staggering reality. Montana is larger than Japan, but home to a mere 1.12 million people. That translates to roughly 1 person for every 10 square miles. So, why the sparse population? 2 key factors stand out: extreme weather and sheer remoteness. Summers can be scorching, winters are brutally icy, and towns are incredibly distant from one another. In some areas, finding a Walmart within a 2-hour drive is a luxury. While undeniably stunning and cinematic, Montana is also eerily quiet. If you crave solitude and a lifestyle that embraces cowboy boots and wide-open spaces, Montana might just be calling your name. 3. Rhode Island, small state, big crowd. Let's shift gears for a moment and consider Rhode Island. This is the smallest U.S. state, spanning just 1,034 square miles, yet it manages to pack in over 1 million people. That's more residents than Montana, squeezed into an area nearly 150 times smaller. Rhode Island exudes charm, offering walkable towns and quintessential New England flair. However, the cost of living is rapidly escalating, and it's increasingly starting to feel like New York City, albeit without the iconic skyline. If you appreciate compact, cozy living and fresh seafood readily available, this state offers an appealing lifestyle, but don't anticipate affordable housing or abundant open spaces. And good luck finding parking. 4. Delaware. More companies than people. Next up is Delaware, a state with over 2 million registered corporations, but just over 1 million residents. Yes, you read that correctly. It boasts more companies than people. One might expect a landscape of gleaming skyscrapers and bustling city vibes, but surprisingly, that's not the case. Its largest city, Wilmington, has a modest population of only 70,000, roughly the size of a college football crowd. Why the low population? A significant reason is its proximity to Philadelphia, which has effectively absorbed much of the economic and social activity. Delaware's lack of a state income tax makes it highly attractive to corporations, but this doesn't necessarily translate into a surge of local job opportunities that would draw in more residents. Instead, Delaware largely functions as a quiet, beachy retirement destination rather than a booming metropolis. 5. South Dakota, Mount Rushmore, and not much else. South Dakota is perhaps best recognized for the iconic Mount Rushmore and, interestingly enough, a roadside attraction called Wall Drug. Indeed, a drugstore adorned with hundreds of roadside billboards is one of its most famous landmarks. With fewer than 900,000 people, this state is 177% larger than Florida, yet has fewer residents than the city of Jacksonville alone. This is a state defined by its vastness and its formidable cold. Winters can make you yearn for hibernation, and at times you might genuinely wonder if you're the last human left on Earth. However, if you're craving profound solitude, endless, wide-open skies, and invigorating fresh air, South Dakota could serve as your ultimate personal retreat. Just be sure to pack a very warm coat and perhaps a stack of good books. 6. North Dakota. Like South Dakota, but harsher. Think South Dakota is empty? Allow us to introduce its older, tougher sibling, North Dakota. This state boasts fewer than 800,000 people, a population smaller than some large city neighborhoods. The reasons are clear: extreme weather conditions. Expect blistering cold winters, hot summers, relentless winds, and the occasional flash flood. It's also significantly isolated from major urban centers and isn't exactly a prime tourist destination. Unless your profession involves oil or agriculture, North Dakota offers limited conventional appeal. But if your goal is to truly disconnect from the world and embrace an off-grid lifestyle, this is unequivocally the place. 7. Alaska. Nature's masterpiece, humanity's challenge. Welcome to Alaska, the largest state in the U.S. by a considerable margin. It's so immense that if you were to divide it in half, both halves would still be larger than Texas. Yet only 733,000 people call this colossal land home. That's a population smaller than San Francisco's, spread across a landmass twice the size of Texas. Why so empty? Because Alaska is, for all intents and purposes, the Arctic. Winters bring brutal temperatures, often plummeting to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit, as little as 4 hours of daylight, and snowfalls capable of burying an entire house. Roads? They are few and far between. The entire state has fewer paved roads than Connecticut. But what's the reward for enduring such harsh conditions? Unparalleled, breathtaking beauty. Think majestic glaciers, towering mountains, pristine forests, and wildlife that appears to have stepped directly out of a fantasy film. If you possess an adventurous spirit, Alaska offers an unmatched, life-altering experience. However, you'll need grit, the right gear, and serious survival instincts. 8. Vermont, maple syrup and mountain silence. Next on our list is Vermont, the quintessential land of cozy cabins, rich maple syrup, and rolling hills that look as if they belong in a Hallmark movie. Only 647,000 people reside here, with over 60% of them living in rural areas. Vermont is characterized by its peaceful, slow-paced charm. Since 2020, it has surprisingly become one of the most moved-to states in the country, largely attracting remote workers seeking a more tranquil existence. But remember, this is genuine rural living. Expect quaint, tiny towns, an abundance of trees, and perhaps a goat or two as your closest neighbors. 9. Wyoming, the ultimate empty state. Finally, the undisputed champion for the most empty-feeling state goes to Wyoming. With a mere 5.9 people per square mile, it holds the distinction of being the second least densely populated state in America. You could literally walk for miles and not encounter another human being. Wyoming lacks any major cities, and job opportunities are scarce. Were it not for federal spending, the state's economy would be almost non-existent. However, if your desire is for profound peace, absolute quiet, and jaw-dropping natural beauty, you will find it here in abundance. The mountain ranges are simply stunning. The skies feel infinite, and the silence? It's deafening in the most profound and best possible way. Wyoming isn't for everyone. It appeals to the self-sufficient, the introverts, and the passionate nature lovers. If that description resonates with you, Wyoming might just be your personal paradise. Final thoughts. Could you live in one of these states? So now for the crucial question, which of these unique states could you envision calling home? Are you the rugged, outdoorsy type, ready to brave the icy wilderness of Alaska or the expansive emptiness of Wyoming? Or do you prefer the compact, walkable charm of Rhode Island or the corporate calm of Delaware? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would you thrive in the silence and profound solitude these places offer? Or would you find yourself missing the vibrant chaos of city life? Regardless of your preference, the United States is undeniably full of hidden corners that most people rarely consider. And sometimes it's in those quiet, empty places where the truest, most unexpected beauty lies.